Hello, welcome to Scratch 3D Printing. In this video, I'll be unboxing the Anycubic Kobra 3 combo. This will be an unbox video, first impression video, and I will do my review and rating at the end of the video. Let's scratch this 3D printer. Okay, let's get this thing unboxed. A disclaimer, I bought this myself. This is Anycubic Kobra 3 combo. The product feature, it prints in multicolored printing. It can print in 4 to 8 colors. It prints fast, maximum speed at 600 millimeters per second. The Ace Pro, it dries while it prints in multicolor. The build volume is 250 by 250 by 260 millimeters. It has vibration compensation. It has filament extrude control, nozzle clog detection, minimize filament tingle, filament drying all the time. It has auto leveling, auto Z offsets, which is nice. Quick swap nozzle, auto resume print, detect resume all by itself. The nozzle can be heated up all the way to 300C. The bed can heat it up all the way to 110C. Power supplies of 400 watts, and it has a single hardened steel extruder gear. You can print via USB drive, Wi-Fi, or AC cloud. Inside the box here, you get a user manual, 2 wrenches. I believe this is 10 meter of peeling white. You get a filament tube, you get their pass card, you get some cable organizer for touch screen screw, for print head screw. You get lubrication in this piece of plastic. If this were in a tube, it would be so much better. You get a USB drive. You got some Allen keys, Allen tool. You got a cable holder. You get purge wiper screw for print head cable screw, nozzle cleaner, and a nozzle wiper or cleaner. That's it. Filament spool holder. The other parts of the filament spool holder. A cable, power cord, another power cord. The Anycubic print head. Wow, it comes disassembled. Here's the 4 hole for the 4 filament for this Anycubic Kobra 3. And look at this. Since this comes disassembled, we can actually see the nozzle and how it all look. But as you can see there, it's not fully aligned. It's kind of crooked, but I don't know if that's gonna affect anything. Now there we go. We can adjust this very easily. Hopefully it's not loose. Here's the stepper motor, and there's a plug there. You can tighten or loosen this spring here by turning this screw inside of there, but I will leave it stock. Look at this cooling, really cool printhead, and I believe this is the purge and the LCD screen. Look at this. That's it with the accessory. This right here is the AMS filament holder, filament changer, and filament heater. It looks pretty cool. Anycubic Ace Pro. Come closer here. Let's unwrap this together. Oh my gosh, that is so satisfying. Man, look at this thing. How do you open this? You push this thing all the way over here, and then you can just open it. Ooh, it smells fresh. Wow. And here's all your filament tube, so you can connect this to your printer. Right here it says 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm gonna play with this thing and see how it feels, see how it works. There are some rollers down here, right here. If you can see this, these are some rollers. All of this rolls really well except the last one over here. It's quite stuck. Hopefully that's not a problem. And now for the 3D printer. Look at this thing. I thought this was the whole bed so that I can just push the foam down. And oh yeah, let's take a look at this. Wow, this thing looks really nice. It looks really well built. There's the foam down here. I gotta give it up. All of these foam. Oh, listen to that. Here's a cable connector. They got the gantry on for you and the bed on for you. It's really rare that you see a 3D printer that has a gantry and a base connected together. Well, I only have a couple experience unboxing these bed slingers, so I don't know if all of the 3D printers are like this. But most of the one that I have unboxed has this and this separated. This on the other hand, it's different. These two are connected. The print head is not. So that is the next thing I'm gonna do. Put on the print head, which is this. Looks really cool. And it goes on like this. The head here has a belt pulling it left to right, and it runs on 2 linear rail steel rod. We will be needing this print head cable. On the manual it says to use this first, the print head cable first, but I think I'm gonna do the print head first so that I get it to stick up here, and then I will put on the cable. So on the back of this, 1, 2, 3, 4 white mark. You place the screw in those 4 area. I need some Allen wrench. So it's gonna be this, 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 and this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is put 2 screws first. So this one and this one, so I can slide it on, and then I'll put on this one and this one afterwards. So I'm gonna line it up and then just push it down like that. And now I can use the other 2 screws if I don't keep dropping it. Find the hole and just screw it in. So it'll be this one. It's a USB Type C, which is very interesting. And on the top here, this is where it goes, and it has 2 screws, 1 on each side for the USB Type C. For this one, it requires the smallest Allen wrench. There we go. We got the print head assembled. Number 3 for touch screen. Here's the cable plug. You put the bracket right here and you screw it in. I'm gonna hang this over the desk because I find that the easiest way to do these kind of touch screen. I wish they give you longer Allen wrenches. Now that we got that in, I'm gonna plug in the cable. There we go. Here to snap. And look at this. This is adjustable. A great plus for that. Amazing. Now it's time for the motor cable, which is just right here. Plug it in. And now it's locked. Now the X-axis motor cable is plugged in. Let's go to the next step. Now get your cable holder and put it to the side right here so that we can hold down the cable. We just slide this into this gap right here, like so. Snap on. That's it. Next is we need to install this purge wiper right here. Okay, so you install it like this from the back. This hole right here connects to this white dot right here. So it's like that. Now let's get this through. Oh, this is magnetic. I did not know that. Look at that. It's so cool. The other screw goes down here in this hole right here. So we just go put that in through like that. It's really fun if this is your first 3D printer. There you go. Secure. Okay, so now I'm just gonna do this. If you can see here, this cable that connects to the printhead, it has this 2 notch or cutout right here, and this goes right here on the cable holder, just like that, so that it can reach everywhere. Amazing design. So there are 2 ways we can do this. The first one is do 1 color printing. The second one is like this one. I got the combo for color printing. So if we are doing 1 color printing, I'm gonna connect the ball and tube right here, and then put the spool holder down right here, and then connect this on top of here to the printhead. But we are doing 4 color printing, so I'm not gonna use this. Instead, I will be using this and the AMS system that it comes with. Let's do that. This setup is gonna take my whole table where I usually have my cable max and the 3v3 sit out here. This is gonna take the whole spot. Put your AMS system right here. I don't know what they call it, the Ace Pro. I just gonna call it AMS for short and easy, so everybody understand. Now we need to use this cable so that we can connect this to this. It's a 4-pin and a 6-pin. So the way you connect this cable to from this to this is there's a cutout over here that's this thing is covering. It was quite hard for me to find because it blends in very well, so you need to take this off like this. The 4-pin goes here, just like so. And then this goes to the Ace Pro or the AMS system. There's actually 2 holes down here, 4-pin and a 6-pin, but we're gonna use the 6-pin. Not quite sure why they did that. Maybe that's for something else. That's the 4-pin and that's the 6-pin. And now the next step is to connect this to your printhead. So I'm gonna be using 1, 2, 3, 4 and connecting to however, which color, whichever order I want to my printhead. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll be plugging the cable right here, and that's the power cable. So let's go and do all of that. So this bag, it's the long filament tube. Ooh, these are so long. That's what she said. It looks like these has been tested and used. So let's go ahead and do it. They still use these old style blue locked, which I don't like at all because it's really annoying. Sometimes you pull this out and this thing comes back like a millimeter, so I don't like this setup. I like the new one. Push it in and then automatically locks. These are so hard to get out too, man. This right here is a flawed design. I wish that we used the newer style push and that's it. Look at this, you can pull it out so much. What? That looks so cool. Let's go ahead and put these pins back in, which is gonna be a pain. Finally got it. These are the new locks. I love it. You just push it in and then automatically locks. Why can't they use this in here? Next, we gotta check to see if this is wobbly, which seems fine, but the bed is kind of wobbly, so we gotta take a wrench and tighten these nuts. So these two cables are exactly the same. It doesn't matter which one goes to which. Before you plug in your 3D printer, you need to check on the back. There's this switch, 120 volts or 240 volts. Make sure it's set to the correct voltage so your 3D printer doesn't explode. I got mine set to the correct voltage. I'm gonna plug this in and turn it on. Hopefully it does not explode. It's working. Everything's working. I'm gonna turn this thing on too. You can hear this thing spinning and that thing beeping. Amazing. Everything is working well. I noticed the motherboard fan runs automatically, which it happens all the time. Okay, let's peel this thing. Whoa, that looks so beautiful. It told me to put this USB stick in there, so I did. And now it's doing the X and Y axis itself. And I think it's doing the sensorless homing. X, Y, and Z axis detection. Now we are totally done with the 3D printer setup. We are ready for printing. And you know the first thing, I'll be doing a benchy and I'll do my test, tolerance, first layer, and all of that goodies. Okay, the first thing I want to do is find a setting where I can turn off the beeping. It's gonna be very annoying. Oh gosh, this is really responsive, but it's not the best looking screen. Key sound. Oh, thank you, we have the options to turn it off. I feel like these at the top are kind of squished. If you look at it like from this angle, you can't really see it. You need to look at it straight or a little bit downward, but it's fine, it's fine. I feel like they could use more screen instead of just blacking this thing out, but it's totally cool. Screen off. I'm gonna do a 5-minute fan. So apparently there's only one fan and it's really loud actually, but that's good for printing. Okay, about machines. Oh, so you can have 2 A's, huh? Okay. Nozzle temperature, hot bed temperature. Okay. Cooling. Oh, okay, so it's gonna cool everything. ABS preheat, PLA preheat. Let's just cool down. You can move this thing up and down. Oh no. Oh my gosh, it was about to crash into the bed. Okay, nice. All homes, motor off, auto leveling, renaissance, PID collaborations. We don't need that. Drying time, you can dry this thing up. You can select which one you want to dry, PLA, ABS, PG, stuff like that. Time, you can set the temperature 35 to 55. So time, you can set 2 hours to 24 hours, which is nice. And let's go back. Filament 1, 2, 3, 4. Ace mode, unable to switch. Oh, okay. So I think that's for one filament. That's the Ace 1 and that's the Ace 2. So okay, so the other 4-pin is for Ace 2. Okay, but where will you plug in the second one though? I don't know, maybe there's like a extension cable. Filament back up and try switch. Okay, extrude, retract. Okay, nice. Prints, and this is the disk. Empty slicer. It only has a slicer. Okay. Oh, test model. There we go. Shark beer bottle. Okay, so that's that. Whoa, the nozzle temperature is all the way to 240. That's actually quite high for PLA. Okay, my first color will be Creality Hyper Series PLA White. My second color will be Conjure Orange. Third color will be Conjure's Red. And the last color will be JO's Yellow. It's not like the best combo color, but it's what I have. I don't have that much anymore. It says 11 minutes, so let's see how long it actually takes. Oh, wow, it's done printing. Let's see. It took about 12 minutes and 20 seconds. Still counting up like 12 minutes, 20 seconds. It says 11 minutes, 40 seconds, but it's still really nicely and really fast. Yeah, we got a benchy. It's been a couple of days since I've been playing with the Anycubic Kobra 3 combo over here. It's been great these days. I've been enjoying this 3D printer very much, and here are the things that I have printed with this 3D printer. The first thing is a benchy, of course. This is a speedy benchy that it was on the files for the Kobra 3, and it printed in about 11 minutes, and the quality is actually really good. You can see that all the layers are stacking on top of each other very nicely. Even if you look at this angle here, the layers still stacked really nicely. On the bridging over here, it's not the best because it's printing way too fast. The filament does not have the time to cool down, so the overhang here isn't quite the best, but still really good for a 11-minute benchy. You can definitely tell that there's some text back at the back here. The first layer seems really nicely, maybe a little bit too close to the bed, but it still turns out really nicely. I'm actually really impressed with the top layer with this 3D printers. The top layers for me just seems very nicely. Overall, it's a really good 3D benchy for 11 minutes. Then the next thing I did is print another benchy with their 39-minute benchy. It's a better quality benchy, but the time to print this is a lot slower, and you can see that there is some stringing. I don't think it's the 3D printer, I think it's just the filament. The filament is just pretty stringy here, so because this benchy here prints so much faster than this benchy, and there's no stringing. But this one, there are some stringing, but the stringing can be get rid of very easily. And look at this. The bridging here is really nice because it slows down a bit and it has time to cool off. The first layer just seems so pretty. Look at this. It's a lot better if you look in person, but oh, you can see that the first layer is so nice. You can see the text so clearly. And the back here, you can almost see or read the letters behind here, which is so nice. All the layers stacked really well together. The top layer is just so gorgeous. Then I printed this bottle opener, this shark bottle opener. It was pre-sliced in the machine, and it turns out really nicely. This is the first ever I have multicolored print on a machine without touching it, and it turns out really nicely. You can see that there's like the yellow and the white blending together. It just turns out really good. And this was the purge tower for this shark right here. I did try open this and it actually worked. As you can see back there, it's all the poop that I've been printing with this machine. And look at this. I revisited my Pokeball that I did a long time ago using the Cable Max, manually changing the filament. It took so long. It was so tiring, but this time it turns out really nicely, and I kind of messed up on the color because it was my first time using a multicolor system, and I did not quite know exactly how to configure these colors, but it turns out really nicely. Like I said, this 3D printer just prints really good. I'm actually really impressed by the quality that this Kobra 3 can produce. With its pricing, it's just good, so good. All the layers stacked really nicely together, and it just turns out gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Let's see if I can remove the support though. This Pokeball was printed using Anycubic slicer, which is based off of Prusa slicer, and I print this using the default setting on Anycubic slicer. Circle supports are just hard to get rid of. It doesn't matter which 3D printer. Maybe unless you really get it dialed in. Okay, there we go. I got rid of the supports, which is this whole thing here. I did not realize, and the first couple layers turns out pretty decent. And yeah, this Pokeball just looked great. This thing was printed in about 6 hours because it just gotta do so much layer changing. Once you get to the midpoint, you just print change, just like so constantly. And this was the Filament Waist, or the Purge Tower. And check this out. Look at that. Back here is the Filament Waist. Filament Purge Waist. Oh, that is just so much. And check out down there. That's all the filament that this thing shoots out. boom, and I try to stop this using my paper towel. So that's how I got this towel. Filament gets stuck here. I don't even know how these filament get stuck together because it has cooled off, but I don't know, they just got stuck together. I gotta clean this and I'll make a bin to catch all my filament waste poop. And check this out. This is the first layer test. It's just a 250 by 250 by 2 millimeters height. And it turns out flawlessly. Just look at this. I never got a first layer this good before, and I thought the N3v3 was a really good first layer, but no, this Anycubic Kobra 3 here, the first layer is just so nice. This was done using the original calibration that once you start up the 3D printer, plug in the USB drive and then it does all the calibrations for you. I just print using that bed leveling and it just, oh my god, just flawless, dude. It just prints so nicely. But one thing I noticed that it was a flaw is that, as you can see here, right? Like I said, I will put a clip right here. Okay, so right now I'm doing the first layer test, but if you look over here, it's extruded outside of the build plate. Like this. This is hanging off the build plate right here, which is kind of weird. But this side still has a little bit of space left. But we'll see what will happen. If we look at the picture here, it's all inside the build plate, but when it actually prints, it prints outside the build plate, as you can see here. Showing how, or I don't know how, but this right here was printed outside like the boundary of the 3D printer's bed, and that's why I got this. But other than that, it just printed out so nicely. And if you look closely right here, you can see that there's letter there. You can see that there's something there, right? That's the writing of the build plate, and it got transferred over. So cool. And one last thing that I did was printing a tolerance test. This is from Orca Slasher's tolerance test. So it comes with this piece here and this teeny tiny piece here to fit into these holes and see if it actually fits. So this one ranging from 0 all the way to 0.4 tolerance based on this thing. So let's go with it. The 0.4, it went through easily. 0.3 went through easily. 0.2 goes through easily. Okay, now it's time for the 0.1. Okay, let's try the 0.1. Oh, look at that. It went through so nicely. It did get stuck in there, but it still went through super cleanly. And then just fall right out. Okay, 0.05 right here. Let's try 0.05 right here. Okay, that's 0.05. Oh my gosh, it went through 0.05. What? That is so nice. The tolerance is so good in this 3D printer. Wow. And you can still move it so easily. Of course, you need a tool to get it out, but it fits so nicely. Okay, this is a real test. 0 tolerance. Look at that. 0 tolerance. Oh my gosh, it fit. And I can push it down. All the way down. I can push it all the way down. What? Dude. Oh my gosh, this Anycubic Kobra 3 tolerance is so good. Wow. Not many 3D printers can do 0 tolerance this nicely and fit so well. Wow, I'm blown away by this tolerance. And I'm blown away by the first layer. I did not realize that this Anycubic Kobra 3 will be this good. It fits all of them. It passed the tolerance test. Oh my god. And I can still even get it to release. With just a little bit of force, you can get it released from 0 tolerance. I love it. And the print quality is just so nice, man. It's just so nice. Okay, so now it's time for my rating of the Anycubic Kobra 3. And just quick disclaimer, this is just based off my experience and my rating of the 3D printer. So you don't really have to take this into like, oh, he says that it's this, and this. So yeah, it's just my rating of how I feel about the 3D printer. And I also 3D printed this part. This was also pre-sliced on the Kobra 3. At the beginning, it works very nicely. All the color change works flawlessly. But if you look at this, at the very top layer or near the top layer, right, that's a different color. And I think that is red because if you look at the orange, it does kind of have like a off color near the top right there too, and even the white has that same effect. I not quite sure what happened. It could be the G code, it could be the system just screwing up. So I don't know what happened here, because this was not my slice, it was pre-sliced on the Kobra 3, and I just printed off using my color, and this is what happened. So it did have a little bit of flaw right there. So but overall the print quality is still very nice. All the layers are sticking really nicely together. I just want to point this out that it kind of has a little flaw, right? I'm not quite sure if it's just this specific print, but I don't want to do another print. It takes 10 hours, but I will do more testing of the Kobra Ace in the future. For print quality, it will be a 9 out of 10. Yes, rating aren't supposed to be like this high, but it's my rating. The reason why I say 9 out of 10 is that because if you look at the back here, even though it's very, very nicely printed, on the corner here, it's not like the best corner. It's like there's like a little bit of flaw there, and the bridging, it's not the best. Even though it prints super fast and get this good of bridging, there's still rooms for improvements. And when it goes this fast, the first layer isn't the best, and also the front here, it's like not stacking really nicely together. If you look very closely, you can see that it's kind of off a little bit. The next thing will be tolerance. I will have to give tolerance a 10 out of 10. Why? Because if it's a 0 tolerance, so that deserves a 10. Next thing will be the first layer, and that will receive another 10 out of 10. Wow, this first layer just printed flawlessly, amazing. There's no layer separation or anything like that on this first layer test, so it gotta be a 10 out of 10 for me. The next thing will be stringy. This benchy right here printed with a minimum stringy, and that shouldn't really happen. It could also be the filament like I said, but it should print with basically no stringy, and it printed this thing with multicolor. It gotta extrude and then come over print. After that, I gotta retract, and then I gotta go back and do the same process over and over again. And as you can see here, there's basically no stringing here. It's only like this teeny tiny here, which is just can get rid of like that. And I did not do any processing with this thing. This is basically how it left the 3D printer. And yeah, really no stringing. The only string I saw is on this benchy, so it will have to be a 9 out of 10 for stringing. And the last thing is easy to use. It's a Kobra 3 easy to use. Definitely. Everything was done automatically on the 3D printer. You just gotta click a couple buttons, insert the USB drive, and it does everything for you. It does the auto bed leveling, it does the calibration, it does the vibration. Everything is just flawless, easy to use, and all you have to do is just click print. It prints with no problem, and the AMS system for this thing is just amazing. It's like one of the easiest 3D printers that I have used. And first time using a AMS, or like automatic filament changing system, first time using it, and it was very easy to use. All you have to do is just put in the filament and it will automatically load in for you, and it's just easy to use, like I said. And overall, the Anycubic Kobra 3 combo gets a 9.6 out of 10 for me. If this is gonna be your first 3D printer, I highly suggest you get it, because for $500 you get a decent build volume, a really good 3D printer, very easy to use, and you get an automatic filament changing system with all within just $500. It's a really good 3D printer in my opinion. I didn't realize that a best slinger in this day and age would be this good, but it is actually this good. Oh, and by the way, this is like a bonus thing. The build quality of this thing, it's amazing. When I first saw it online, I didn't realize that the build quality was this good, but once I saw it in person, this Kobra 3 build quality is just amazing. From the finish of the 3D printer to all the parts that they put in there, it just looked very clean and just looked beautiful. I will have to say a flaw, a little bit of flaw, is the screen itself. There's way too much bezel. I hope that they could have shrunken the bezel a little bit, or expand the screen a little bit, so that there's not that much empty blank bezel space on the screen. But other than that, the touch screen is very responsive. You get all the features that you want. I'll put a clip right here showing you what I mean. I like how when you are printing, you can still access setting, or the Z offsets, the LED right here, which lights up really cool. And you can adjust this quiet, standard, or sports. I love it. Sports. It's like a race car. You turn into sport mode. That is amazing. And most importantly, you can access your Anycubic Ace Pro filament. You click here, you can see all your colors, but most importantly, you can turn on the dryer switch right here. Selecting PLA, confirm, and now it turns on. It's drying your filament while you are printing. And yeah, that'll be it for this video of me reviewing, testing, playing with the Anycubic Kobra 3 combo. I just love this 3D printer. More content of this 3D printer is gonna be coming out very soon. So if you don't want to miss that, subscribe to the channel, leave a like down below, comment down below. Do you own a Kobra 3 and do you like it, or are you gonna get it? If you are, use the link down below. And that'll be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, keep on 3D printing.